During summer vacation, there is one highly anticipated event that's sure to have a waiting list: the annual Youth STEM Camp at the University College of the Cayman Islands.
Our camp is always sold out. Last year it was sold out within 3 hours of us opening it. And there are always other people who want to get in. We had a waiting list for camp of 40 students. We already admitted 35.
It's not just the educational aspect that attracts enrollment in UCCI's STEM camp for 10 to 13-year-olds. The activities here are also fun. And that's the point.
The reactions were awesome. These students were excited about math. I mean, they didn't know it was math initially. They were just having fun with numbers and cards. But they really, really enjoyed the camp. They enjoyed the learning activities. There was one student who said, "I didn't know that I could have this much fun in a learning institution."
Camps like this one form an important part of Cayman's STEM ecosystem. The activities take science, technology, engineering, and mathematics beyond the classroom and connect them to a dynamic learning community.
It's not always easy to provide some of these activities in the mainstream school. During the day, the teachers have so much that they have to get in. So if we can facilitate some of these after school, during the conference, during the camp, I think it would really.
In the first 4 episodes of Island Jobs, we visited Cayman's STEM and TVET classrooms, from kindergarten to university level. We met students, apprentices, employers, and mentors. We'll revisit some of those people later in the episode. But first, on this final episode, we explore Cayman's STEM learning ecosystem. We visit some of the extracurricular programs and the people that are pushing STEM education in the Cayman Islands to the next level. For STEM education to truly enrich the lives of young people, it takes more than a classroom. Success in STEM requires a community. Ever-expanding extracurricular programs like Tech Cayman's robotics camps are one element of that community. Here, students as young as 9 can discover the power of programming and robotics, both increasingly important components of STEM education.
One of the guiding philosophies that I have used for this camp is not a sort of pass-fail objective, because programming as a career doesn't work like this. So our focus is designing achievable objectives. Every time, every camp, we have completely unique solutions. You know, some things you see over and over again, they come to the same conclusions, but sometimes, every time, they come up with new stuff that I've never seen before. This particular camp, we have a final challenge, which is extremely difficult. I mean, it's not extreme, it's achievable, but not many teams get that far, right? We let each team progress at their own pace, so that they can have their incremental wins and feel accomplished no matter where they get to. But every single team has made it to the final challenge, and I believe that I just saw one team solve it, which is extremely rare, so it's pretty exciting.
Programming a robot to successfully navigate a maze may sound challenging for individuals of any age, but the tech mentors insist that with some patience and problem solving, it's all achievable.
It's not very difficult at all, especially if children have interest in technology and in computers. It really is not difficult, and it's easy for them to engage and enjoy the program. I hope that the outcome is to keep children, off the streets, to keep them interested in self-development and self-improvement, because a lot of the, working on different projects or programming is about being a self-starter, to be able to learn on your own and to constantly work on improving your own skills.
While this weekend's group includes children under age 13, camp organizers see value in extending registration to an older group of students.
I think moving forward, we're going to open it up to all ages at the secondary school level, because we're finding that at the government school level, we have older kids who have not had exposure. So we were kind of running under the assumption that, if you catch them at year 7, year 8, then if past that, they've already seen it, right? But it turns out that we have kids who are transferring in, kids who are coming home from elsewhere, right? Especially because of COVID. And these kids are transferring into the government schools at an older age, but haven't had any experience with STEM.
By the time students are in high school, robotics turn competitive. Students from across Cayman can team up with like-minded peers through the Minds-Inspired Robotics program hosted at Cayman International School.
So I started the robotics program 3 years ago in the summer, just before the summer of 2019. And the next year I was given the role of just managing a team. We were split into 2 teams and we built 2 robots. And so there I learned how to just teach people how to program and just mentoring students. And then now in the 3rd year I was the head of programming for both teams. And so there I was managing the code on both robots.
Every year they have a competition that we have a certain task and they have to play on a field, and there are like little tasks, either pick up blocks, place them there, or last year was pick up rings and shoot them into different goals. And DART has funded a competition every year. Half of the competition is the robot has to run by itself. So the kids have to program it with sensors, whether it be light sensors, distance sensors, camera sensors, to navigate the field, pick up blocks, sort them and place them or shoot them in different places. So that kind of technology is very, that's a technology that's used all over the world, and these kids have kind of a step up from that, right? So, these kids are kind of not to say, I don't want to inflate their egos, these are the cream of the crop right here. So they're really good to work with.
I went to a STEM conference and I saw a couple robotics stalls, so I was interested in that. And then I found out that you can do biology and technology at the same time, so it's like biotech. And so that's what I'm interested in now, and that's what I plan to do when I go into college. So it's a learning experience, and it gives you so many opportunities to find out what colleges you can get into with this stuff. Because before this, I didn't know that First Tech was such a big thing.
So this is our homepage. We have a welcome video and then the simulators linked at the bottom. And our main aim was to help students in Cayman learn more about robotics. If they have a kit but they have a lack of knowledge and they don't know what to do with it, we have videos on mechanics, programming, and documentation.
Basically, we want to make our website as accessible as possible for all people. We're collaborating with the Niger team, and their primary language is French. So we realized right there that, when you're teaching people robotics, you can't just limit it to English. So the Niger team is helping us with translating to French. We're currently translating to Spanish, and one of our team members also knows how to speak German, so he'll be translating that.
Robotics can not only teach you how to apply them in your future jobs, but also skills like teamwork that you need everywhere in your future. Just learning how to cooperate with other people and broadening your skill set in everything that you do.
Robotics is very rewarding to me because it's such high interest with the students. And, when you see students get so engaged in, in something like a robotics club, and really, they understand teamwork, and, and I can see them learning skills that are going to be with them for the rest of their lives, right? I get to do all the fun stuff, and I get to work with students. As a former teacher and also a former business person, this is a great position in the sense that I get to do both. I get to, be part of the DART business and also part of the school programs that, here on the island in all the high schools. Those programs are things like Sea Perch Underwater Robotics, the FIRST Robotics program, so the First Tech Challenge, where we provide kits to the schools and we help bring everyone together into an inter-school competition, which gives them a reason to actually build their robots, and then an opportunity to show them off when we have our inter-school competition. I've seen over the last few years there is becoming a greater awareness of the fact that we've fallen behind the rest of the world, right, in terms of science education. And I think there are some things now that are, that are being sort of looked at and focused on. And so if I were to, had a magic wand and could, fix what I think needs to be fixed, I would say there has to be a much greater focus on science and technology. And until that happens, I don't think that we are going to make the kind of strides that we need to.
How many times a day we hear that, tech is the future? I think that goes without saying around the world. And so, Cayman needs to, and is, making some changes to its economy and the type of businesses that it's trying to attract to, to set up here. And, with an understanding that this is going to be critical for the, kind of the ongoing, economic viability of Cayman. And if we don't adapt to it, then we are almost certainly going to get left behind. Tech is going to play a very, very important role in Cayman's future. And we need to leverage all of the advantages that this wonderful island has to offer. And if we do that properly, there's no reason why in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, this can't be a very globally significant technology hub.
The Cayman Islands now is becoming, a technology hub. So there are, number of companies that have come here. They call me and they ask me about, what young students that are, do I know of that they need to hire tech-savvy students. And we don't have those. I shouldn't say we don't have those. We don't have enough of those. Even here at DART, we in the last year or two, we've really struggled to find students for our IT department. There aren't enough students that are going into those types of study paths in computer science, computer engineering, and as a result, there just aren't enough for the companies here. And as more of these tech companies move to the Cayman Islands, we're all fighting for the same, talent.
Early in the Island Job Series, we met Michael Miles, founder of the Inspire Cayman Training Center and a leader in advancing career-oriented education for Caymanians. At that time, Miles expressed frustration with the state of vocational training in the islands.
Every time I reach out to the government, it just doesn't go well.
As of May 2022, he was feeling much more hopeful. That's because he is finally seeing progress toward his goal of partnering with government to train and support Caymanians in their career ambitions.
Since 2019 that Inspire was established, we've always wanted a working relationship and partnership with the Cayman Islands government to ensure that we can do professional development and skills training. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we signed our first contract with the Ministry of Labor and the Department of Work to begin training 10 people in a fully funded apprenticeship program. So we had 40 people who applied for 10 scholarships. We shortlisted 28. We interviewed 23, and we have 10 persons. The 11th person, we provided a scholarship from the Build Your Future Cayman NPO. This program is unique because the people that are in this program will receive a performance bonus for their attendance, their punctuality, dress code. I've been working with at least 20 plus organizations that once these folks finish, they will then be transitioned into full-time employment for those of them who need us to do that. There are people that want to do the international yacht training. There are folks that want to do PADI. There are people that want to do construction. There are folks that want to do heavy equipment. Within all of this, our people will also be doing online professional development. They will be doing the financial peace university program, which is a personal finance program. They will have to do 10 hours per month in community service. We put that as a caveat in there because the scholarship is about $15,000, which also includes their performance bonuses. And I believe that to whom much is given, much is expected.
At the University College of the Cayman Islands as well, new investments are being made into career-oriented education, thanks to $405,000 in funding from the European grant program, Resumbid.
The training is for 50 unemployed Caymanians who are underemployed, and it seeks to capture persons between ages 18 and 45 years old with a drive to have a good gender balance among the selected participants. What it will look at 4 key areas for training. You have renewable energy. As you know, the government has its energy policy and drive for cleaner Cayman 2037. We also will focus on ICT, information and communication technology, as well as tourism management and sustainable construction. We want to ensure that those who are shortlisted really want to take advantage of this opportunity, because it's not just a training course to just complete, but it is geared towards certification. The courses will be tied to international certification, as well as the internship will be assigned with it, so that at the end of the program, we want these persons to be eligible for employment, because one of our outputs is to see how many persons after the training program have gained employment or secured part-time or full-time employment coming out of this training program. We are at a verge where technical and vocational education is on the upward trend, and we really want all employers continue to be supporting of us. We look forward to ensuring that we stay current, but more than that, we welcome corporate Cayman support in this project, especially in the areas of small tools and equipment, because we are able to provide the knowledge and skills and competencies, but sometimes we're not able, given the limited resources, to get the necessary tools to keep up to date.
Recent investments in TVET and STEM-oriented career training mean dozens of Caymanians will have more opportunities to achieve their professional goals. But there are still many more Caymanians struggling to find their way, and much more progress needs to be made. The Cayman Islands still lacks a cohesive national apprenticeship program, and according to government data reports, major educational gaps persist across all academic levels.
I think personally that, if we want to prepare this country for the future and we want to meet the demands of the careers and jobs, we need to start 10 years ago, but we need to start right away and start to address those. Locally, I would say the growth sectors a lot of them are based in technology. Yeah. There will be a time that's probably not too far off where every job, even the most basic entry-level job, there will be a threshold of technical skill that's required.
I'm hoping that within a few years that our students don't have to leave the Cayman Islands to get a Bachelor of Science in most of the STEM areas. Right now, in some STEM areas, they do have to leave the Cayman Islands, or they have to use a different institution outside of the Cayman Islands. So my hope is that once we get them through our STEM programs, whether it's just getting their interest through the after school or the camp, is to get them to, next step is UCCI, and I can complete my 4-year or 3-year degree at UCCI. I don't have to go overseas. So I know it's not going to happen overnight, because we do need the facility and the infrastructure to do that, but that's my hope for all of this.
I think for years what has happened in our country is that we haven't developed our people. We've developed our country. We've developed commerce. We have developed infrastructure. It's important that as an organization that we are heavily invested in workforce development, but also invested in ensuring that people have the choice, have the freedom to move into directions that they know that they can work for the rest of their lives.
One thing that Cayman should also be concerned about is that we're that there's a flip side to not developing a technology community here, and that is that you might find that some of these kids that are very interested and have great aptitude for STEM disciplines, if we don't develop that economy that allows them to stay here, then we might see them, leaving Cayman and taking jobs in other places around the world. And of course, that would be very much to Cayman's detriment. If we offer them the training but not the opportunities, then they're going to leave.
Cayman's a small place, right? I mean, we can fix it. And it's not like you're dealing with millions of people where you've got to, build, new schools and all the rest of it. To me, it's a pretty fixable problem. It's going to require focus, it's going to require, education and private sector coming together and partnering to understand what the needs are, and also to, to create more apprenticeship, work experience opportunities and those partnerships, because that also gives not only the schools and the teachers and the school administration a better idea, it gives the students a better idea of what they need to strive for.
Do you have more to say about STEM and TVET in the Cayman Islands? What do you think needs to be done to advance professional and technical training in the islands? Reach out at news@caymancurrent.org and join the conversation. In the meantime, follow the island's latest education news at caymancurrent.org.
Hey, Lord, Lord, Lord. Well, 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 well. Yesterday I was broke. Today I got paper beyond your dreams. Past gone up in smoke, and everything ain't what it seemed.